The scenario depicted in this production portrays an administrative move of a division's vehicles and equipment by rail, utilizing the existing railway facilities and in-country or in-theater control structures. These would be operated by civilians or possibly by an allied military organization. It is anticipated that timely intelligence data would preclude the requirement for any in-Canada deployment to be conducted in a tactical mode. The operation would be directed by a higher headquarters and executed by their movement control units. The theater movement organization would have established a movement control center and various movement control detachments. These would execute all aspects of the operation and liaise with the commercial carriers, who would provide the rolling stock and associated equipment, technical advice, transit inspections, and general security. The detachments operate the rail terminals and assist units with their loading and unloading activities. They provide the necessary control and supervisory staff and all the required material handling equipment and equipment operators. The division has been ordered to move by rail to a new location. In this instance, it will have to operate its own austere destination railhead. The movement company of the Division Service Group Transportation Battalion is responsible for the manning and operation of this facility and its associated assembly area. Initially, the Division G4 staff, working in concert with the G3 staff, becomes involved in collecting information, assigning key appointments, preparing the outline movement plan, liaison with the railway company and other staff elements, issuing warning order, and working up the division movement instruction. On receipt of the instruction, the assigned Railhead Movement Control Detachment commander departs on a reconnaissance of his assigned location. This is normally done in conjunction with a railway representative. They conduct a general survey of the railhead, noting its overall facilities, and prepare a detailed assessment of the numbers and lengths of trains that could be accommodated, the railhead handling capacity, road structures, general accessibility, storage, administrative capability, and communications. The railhead should contain a large marshalling area, a vehicle inspection point, adequate trackside lanes, good road approaches, level sidings, shunting tracks, holding sidings, platforms and ramps, storage areas, cranes, lighting, and essential administrative facilities. The security of the railhead is a division responsibility, and the Division Military Police Company would be detailed to coordinate this task. A rail transport liaison officer is appointed from within the division to provide liaison between the Movement Control Center, the senior embarkation officers of each formation, and the unit embarkation officers of division troops units. The formation senior embarkation officers coordinate the mounting and deployment of the formation's units through the unit embarkation officer. The movement company is the only element of the division service group that is involved in the movement function. All other elements are moving in accordance with the timings detailed in the division movement instruction. Concurrently, unit embarkation officers are involved in updating the unit movement staff table, preparing load lists, determining the rolling stock needs, coordinating their unit activities, preparing dangerous cargo instructions, and obtaining the necessary dunnaging and tie-down equipment. Thorough preparations will ensure that all the required equipment has been included and that the vehicles and associated equipment are ready for the journey. The Movement Control Detachment representative would meet with the unit embarkation officer at the railhead to review problem areas and to issue special instructions for dangerous cargo, driver training, rail yard safety, and dunnaging. The meeting would also emphasize such points as loading all vehicles so they are pointing in the same direction, ensuring all trailers are accompanied by a prime mover, and loading heavy or oversized vehicles at the front of the train. Every effort would be made to maintain the integrity of a unit train, even at the expense of extra cars being utilized. Unit packets depart their lines in accordance with their detailed movement timings. On arrival at the assembly area, vehicles are inspected and formed into packets in accordance with the rail car loading plan. Final documentation is carried out by the unit. On receipt of the call forward instruction, they are dispatched forward to the rail terminal under control of the Movement Control Center. At the rail terminal, vehicles are directed to the marshalling area, where the final loading preparations are carried out. This includes an inspection of each vehicle, a check of the security of tools and tarps, that panel doors are locked, and any damages are reported on the vehicle delivery and inspection sheet. Fuel pods and cans are segregated while awaiting loading. These are normally shipped empty. Ammunition is kept well apart and preferably handled at a separate station. In transit, it is confined to one area of the train and carried in a special type of boxcar. Under operational conditions, even with an administrative move, units would carry their basic and maintenance load of fuel and ammunition. They must be prepared to jump off, continue their move by road, and are expected to fight if necessary to achieve their destination. The railhead loading party consists of drivers, guides, and a work group. They operate on a shift basis, with each shift being briefed on the loading pattern, clearances between vehicles, tie-down techniques, usage of material handling equipment, and general safety. This briefing also stresses specific handling points, such as drivers must keep their speed down and obey the guide's hand signals. Bridge plates must be checked against slippage, and load clearances respected when positioning vehicles on the flat cars. In addition, the basic hand signals are reviewed, specifically the move forward, move back, turn left, turn right, and stop. An ambulance, a salvage team, and a mobile repair team are required with each loading party. A wrecker should also be available for handling dead or stuck vehicles should a breakdown occur on a rail car. Normally, the circus pattern of loading is utilized, which organizes the flat cars as a road bed with bridge plates between each car. All vehicles are driven on from an end ramp forward to their assigned place. Properly stopped and adjusted bridge plates are fitted between each car. These are left behind unless otherwise specified. When positioning the vehicles on the flat car, clearance must be left around the wheel brake, between each vehicle, and between the vehicle and the end of the flat car. Some effects of shunting and swaying are minimized by placing the heaviest cars at the front of the train. Other effects can be overcome by the use of restraints, chains, chocks, and tie-downs, which adequately secure the vehicle to the flat car. During shunting operations, the greatest shock forces are applied fore and aft. En route, the major forces are caused by lateral swaying. Vehicle tie-down points, normally U-shaped clevises on the bumper, should be high enough to obtain a near 45-degree angle when the chain is secured to the rail car stake pocket. In addition, the chain should achieve a 45-degree lateral angle to the side of the rail car. Chains must not be fastened by open hooks, as they can easily bounce loose during shunting operations. After securing the vehicle on the flat car, the parking brake is left on and the transmission is left in neutral. A final check is conducted for loose tools, equipment, or boxes, and to ensure that the steering wheel is free. The door is then secured and the vehicle is ready for the journey. After the cars have been loaded, they are checked by the movement control representative and the railway agent to ensure they meet security and safety specifications. Any damages are noted on the bill of lading and on the vehicle delivery and inspection sheet. These documents should also reflect any major items such as toolboxes which accompany the vehicle. One copy of the inspection sheet stays with the vehicle until it reaches its destination. When a train departs or arrives at a station, the appropriate train departure or arrival advice is sent to the Movement Control Center. Prior to the train's arrival, the Movement Control Detachment Commander and railway agent plan the positioning of cars for the unloading operation. The Movement Control Detachment Commander often deals with specialists, such as the military police for traffic control and ammunition technicians for ammunition storage needs. Once the train inspection has been completed and damages noted, the unloading commences. Offloading procedures are normally a reverse of the loading operation. The dunnaging and chains are removed and collected for reuse. All flat cars are checked for protruding nails, which must be removed before any vehicles are moved. Tie-down kits and metal chocks are generally in short supply. Kits must be kept intact and ready for reuse. Any unserviceable items are reported to the movement control representative, and minor damage or deficiencies are rectified on site. Again, bridge plates are checked for positioning prior to each set of wheels running over them, and watched while under load in case they slip. The speedy unloading of boxcars and gondolas will require proper use of material handling equipment and well-established unloading procedures. Where possible, the loads are spread out to make forklift operations simple and to keep the rail car center of gravity as low as possible. The detachment commander keeps the movement control center updated on unloading progress and the estimated time of release of the rolling stock. In an area of operations, emphasis will have to be placed on night activities, chemical and nuclear decontamination, en route security, and speed in loading and unloading. Unlike peacetime, a rail escort party would be attached to the train. It is responsible to hold the vehicle keys and to conduct general checks of the vehicles and equipment during halts. It would also assist the railway authority with the overall security of the train. Vehicles must be kept moving through the unloading area to the marshalling area, where they are checked, formed up, and dispatched to the assembly area. At the assembly area, final preparations are made for the journey. Vehicles are formed up into tactical packets and depart under division control to the area of operations. The rail yard is a dangerous environment, and serious injuries can result from carelessness. Vehicles and equipment can be rendered unserviceable by utilizing poor tie-down and packing techniques. It is therefore advisable to use gloves when handling equipment and dunnaging. Ensure tools and equipment are serviceable. Control vehicle movement. Watch out for oncoming trains or rail cars. Use proper lifting techniques for equipment and bridge plates. Keep away from bridge plates when vehicles are moving. Use only proper NATO hand signals. Except for guides, no one should be on the rail cars when vehicles are moving. Guides should ensure that they do not get trapped between vehicles or fall off rail cars. Keep off vehicle running boards. Use proper lighting for night operations when tactical conditions allow. Drive slowly on rail cars. Use safety hats when unloading gondola cars or when using cranes. And be careful of protruding nails. Rail movement must be conducted in a timely, well-organized, and coordinated fashion. The key to success is effective use of liaison and good communications. The scenario you have just witnessed and subsequent training and briefing of all participants will ensure everyone gets there in a timely and coordinated manner.